My name is Michael Groce. I'm CEO of Booted and Rooted, which is a social enterprise. I'm a performance artist, poet, worked for BBC and ITV and whatever for the last 20 years. The name starts off with the Brixton Riots, my mum, in 1985, where the police was looking for me concerning a crime, and me and them confrontational, and I put a gun towards a police officer and they chased me for a couple of days. And within that chase, they went to my mother's house and shot her, and it paralysed her. The bullets stayed in her back, and which caused the riots. So they gave her 5 years to live after that. It just all mayhem and everything. And then, so I kind of like waited, if that makes sense, I really wanted to get revenge. So I thought, I'll wait for her to die and then I'm going to come back. But she never died. So after a while, watching her in the wheelchair and how she went about the shooting itself and how she conducted herself, it helped me change certain attitudes. So that's when I sort of like went on that transformative journey of life, just to give her something more than what she's been getting from me, you understand? Because she took a bullet for me. So I wanted her, before she died, that she found she always said it was worth it because I'm her son. There is no other era for me. There is no Marcus Garvey or Dr. King. They're all right, but my mum is my hero, and that is from that vision. And then because of that and all the bits what she represents, she was a woman that I call a woman of currents of kindness. And so that was something I wanted to carry on. Well, yeah, originally it was just, the beginning of it all was just for me to change. Because look, I had, in everybody's eyes, I had no chance, right? I was 22. I've got 70 previous convictions, 16 prison sentences behind me. The shootings now happened to my mum, and everybody knows what my face is, who I am. I'm not getting no help. Everybody else got the help, but I was just left on my own. And so when I fell after a while, and I went into drugs and became an addict and so on and so forth, the key to the beginning of the change is when I won the national award, what people don't realise, I hid. I had a new identity, right? I used my father's name. I went to Barnes to live. I had children, my family over there, and I picked up my poetry. So no one knew who I was. So for the first 3 years over there, I did my poetry, and then I won the national award under my father's name. So then I thought, you know what, I'm going to spin it. I'm going to now go back to Brixton under Michael Groce and go back and bring my poetry with the award there, just to show everybody that you can change. And plus, it was kind of a message to the services that I grew up with, who wrote me off. Where was the help I needed at that time to get me through? I was getting certain help, but it wasn't deep enough. And so the first time I came back to Brixton, I did a workshop with gang members that was identified to me by the police. I think that's the first time I done it with Job Centre Plus. And that's when I met you lot for the very first time. That was my big project. I just come back and they said, we want you to do this police project with all these gang members that's like not turning up, you know, and smoking weed when they turn up. And so they said, can you go in there? I said, I'll go in there. So I went in there in 2 weeks, I did. And I kind of like got a better response than what I expected. And so I actually enjoyed it. And so I thought, you know, let me just do another workshop. And before I knew about it, I was in Brixton working with all sorts of people. What I didn't realise was how big my mum's name was and how big the Brixton Riot was. I just thought it was a small thing that happened in South London, Brixton, and then only a few people knew about it. But no, I found out that resonated all the way top in the power echelons of Brixton, and I could get through those doors because of that connection. And that was the influence I took with me. I was like, okay, if that's the case, then I'm going to go and only speak to the top boys and try and get things done. And so that was the beginning of really me doing community projects. I actually did a documentary of him. It was called Sliding Doors. And it was one of those moments because I got arrested and I was in the cell, and they sent Freddie Peters into the cell. But Freddie didn't realise how hardcore I really was until he walked in that cell with me, and he was like, yeah, Mikey, you know. And I said, listen, Freddie, don't you think you can do anything when it comes to me and the police? Do you understand? I slammed the door, and he was like, right, Mike, I'll call, you know. But then I went out to him and saw him and goes, I don't mean to say that to you, but this is a war we're fighting with the police, you know what I'm dealing with. So I can't have me coming in the cell trying to soften me up in front of them. It ain't gonna work, brother. You know what I'm dealing with. So, but he saw my first poem. He was the very first person to see a poem from me. And when he read it, he said, you need to go into poetry. You're wicked. And I was like, you sure, Freddie? He said, no, man, you're good, man. And that's when I started to walk around my poetry and started to share it more with people. And it gave me that opportunity. Yeah, that gave me that opportunity to sort of give myself something else. He's my hero in that sense. But my mum is my hero. But I'd have to think he's one of the heroes as well, because he's my community hero in that sense, yeah. One of the things I've learned is patience. I think Freddie showed me that by the way he dealt with me. He was a patient, because I kept falling by the wayside and kept coming back and kept falling again till I finally grasped it. That then allowed me to go on to the next stage, do what I got to do. He gave me that sense where he took away from me, right, that thing of, I don't care about my life, I'm willing to take risks. And if I go jail, I'll go jail. Well, we need some provisions, and if it's not there, then we got to go within our community. That's where we have to mobilise the community and say to the community themselves, okay, there's no youth provisions here, what can we do?